In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Retell AI as part of your GoHighLevel funnel. So this video is meant for people that don't want to use the GoHighLevel default AI voice agent, but rather want to use Retell because it's a lot better. So let's get right into it. So what you guys are seeing on screen right now is a really simple funnel I set up just using one of the default templates. And you can see there's a form that has the first name, last name, phone number, email. So I want to set it up so that when a person submits this form, they will get a phone call as soon as they submit it. So obviously there's different ways you can set up these voice agents, but just for today's tutorial, I want to show you how you can make it so as soon as a person submits this button, they are getting a phone call to this number that they provided. All right, so step one is going to be to go to your automation tab in HighLevel and just make a new workflow. And because my website here is using a form, we want to put a form trigger, right? So I'm going to type in form submitted, and that's going to be our trigger. I'm going to add a filter to specify exactly which form I want. I called it test form. So now when somebody submits this page, this form, it's going to go to this workflow, and whatever we put in this workflow is going to happen as soon as they submit. So now, how do we actually make the call from Retell? So you're going to use a custom webhook. Just type in custom webhook. And now this is where you're going to put in all the information that Retell needs to make the phone call. Now, the way that you can figure out how to actually set this up, if you want to do it by yourself, you would go to the API, go to the Retell API documentation, and it's going to tell you all the parameters you need. But I'm going to walk you through that today. So first thing you're going to want is the URL. This is the endpoint. So this is where we're going to send our data to. So we just copy paste that over. It's called create-phone-call. We copy that over. Next thing we need is our authorization. So you're going to choose bearer token. Then you click here, create new key. You can give it a name. I'm just going to call mine Retell. And then this is where you paste in your API key from Retell. And if you don't have that already, you can go to your settings. On the left, you see where it says API keys. Click on that and then just copy it. Then you can paste it over here. And this is how we actually authorize with Retell. So it's going to have access to all your agents and your phone numbers. Okay, so we've got that set up. Now, the interesting part, this is where we actually pass in our data that we're going to send to the caller. And there's just 3 fields we need to worry about today. The first one is the from number. So just type in from_number. And this is the number of your AI voice agent. So this is the one that you purchased on Retell's website. And you have to make sure that you write it in the standardized format, which starts with a +1 and there's no hyphens. It's just the numbers. So we copy that over. Then our next field is going to be the to number. So this is the number we're actually calling. And here you want to put in 2 curly braces and then type in contact, and you want to do phone_raw. Because if you just do phone, then it's going to have the wrong formatting. But if you do phone_raw, then it's going to have that +1 formatting. And then the last thing we want is we want to specify which agent we're going to use. Because in Retell, you can create a bunch of different agents, obviously, but we want to say which one we're going to use. So you're going to put in override_agent_ID. And then this is where you copy paste in your agent ID. And you can get that by just clicking into the editor for your agent. And then here in the top left, it's going to say agent ID, and you can just copy that over. Okay, now we can hit save action, save the workflow, make sure that it's published, and now we can do a little test. So I've got my phone over here. I'm going to see if I can receive this phone call. So I'm going to put in my information. Let's hit submit. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm receiving the phone call. Let's answer it.
Hello, this is customer support department. How can I help you today?
I'm good. Goodbye. So it worked. Now, one thing I will say is that I just used the default template in Retell AI. So there was like this, literally, you can see it's one node. But let's say that we wanted to actually use some information from the person that filled out our form. Like we want our AI voice agent to say, hey, John, how are you? Like we want to use their name. How can we do that? Well, it's pretty simple. We just have to pass in variables. So in my Retell, I'm going to add in this little feature here. I'm going to use a custom variable. And the way you do that, again, is by using curly braces. And I'm just going to put name. So now it says, hello, name. This is customer support. Okay, cool. Make sure you publish this. With Retell, you always have to remember to publish your agent. Otherwise, it's not going to have the changes. Okay, so we're using the custom variable. Now, how do we actually get our data from HighLevel, that custom variable, into Retell? Well, we go back down to our little parameters here that we specified, and we add another variable, which is going to be this. It's Retell_LLM_dynamic_variables. And now this is where we can start to specify our custom variables. So you just do colon, then do more braces, and then in here you can specify all your variables. So the one that we want is name. So I'm going to write name, and then I'm going to provide the name using GoHighLevel's syntax. So it's going to be contact.name. like that. I'm gonna hit save action, make sure I save the workflow. And something else I'll say is that you can pass in as many variables as you want. So a good use case here, for example, would be that, let's say you have a qualifying questionnaire as part of your form. Well, you could actually pass in all the answers that they gave on that qualifying questionnaire and then have your AI voice agent use those answers. And that becomes a lot more compelling because it really feels like a real person that looked at the data you submitted and is able to say things like, oh, I saw that you needed help with getting more leads, or whatever you put on your form. So these dynamic variables are very powerful. But now let's actually give this a little test. Okay, so I'm gonna submit my form again, but this time I'm gonna use a funny name. Just say Bobby Bob, and now let's try this out. Okay, you can see I'm getting a phone call again. Let's answer.
Hello, Bobby Bob. This is customer support department. How can I help you today?
No thanks, bye. So you can see it used my name, Bobby Bob, and it worked. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you want to learn more about how to do maybe some more advanced things with these AI voice agents, leave a comment and I will make whatever video you want me to make. Bye.